Yep, we're going to talk today about Facebook Live, and there's only one piece of advice that I can give to all of you. Just do it. Yes, I know it's intimidating and it's scary and you're on camera and you can't edit out your mistakes, but really, it's so effective. You just need to make a start and do it. And we're going to give you throughout this the tips that's going to make it look professional for you and the way to test it so that you can actually get comfortable with using the platform. A couple of really basic steps that you need to make sure you've checked first. The internet speed is all about the upload. So go to www.speedtest.net and install this on your phone. You need to have somewhere between 5 and 10 megabytes per second to be able to do the upload. Make sure you clean your camera lens. Quite often on your phone you're looking at it so that you can see yourself on the screen. Now this is the side that you've always got against your ear, and quite often people don't realise, but it's actually really smeared and dirty. So make sure you give it a clean, and then check the battery level on your phone, because the last thing you want to do is be in the midst of doing Facebook Live and have your phone die on you. If at all possible, run it actually plugged in to the wall. The next thing you need to do is stage your setting. Use a tripod to stop that wobble factor. Make sure you've got your microphone to ensure you've got good sound, because if you've got crappy picture and a crappy sound, you're going to lose people. Check the lighting. It's amazing how little lighting you really need, and quite often you can get really weird glares behind you with lights or open windows, and you really need to look at the background surfaces and make sure they're not too reflective. Ideally use a wide angle lens, because this gives you more of a background view, and it actually looks kind of cool to see you more in a setting. So now that you've picked the scene and you're all set up and you're technically correct, let's have a look at 5 mistakes people do, and let's work through the tips you need to overcome them. So some people script their Facebook Live, and this is really hard to do unless you're a professional actor, which clearly I'm not sure about you. Many people waffle on, they just don't know when to stop and they don't get to the point, so they lose their audience really early on. They might actually talk with no call to action. Again, a bit of a wasted effort. Some people choose to talk in a monotone, and I don't know about you, but I just find that really boring and it would put me to sleep. And lastly, many people freeze on camera. Look, this is perfectly normal, so don't be afraid of this. And what we're going to do is talk through some of the ways you can overcome this, which should give you the confidence to really. So don't script what you have to say. Nobody's going to remember every single word unless you're an actor, which clearly we are not. So work out what the key points are. Make them into a story, something that you know intimately and you're really comfortable with. If you're not really sure of it so well, practice and practice until you're comfortable, and then bring it alive with examples. I love the one that Diane and Tracy were talking about when they were saying they first went live and they had to put a little post-it note reminding themselves to smile on their phone, which is kind of cute. Many of us, when nervous, have a tendency to waffle on and just fill up the airspace talking about stuff. I'm getting to the point. That's a great question. I'm going to introduce that here. The first minute in your Facebook Live is absolutely critical, so practice and practice this bit, because you need to introduce yourself but also get to the point of what you're going to talk about today so that people know whether they're going to tune in or not. You need to think of the follow-on listeners. So there's lots of people that might join you during Facebook Live, but then the real gold is in all the people that choose to watch it later. And so making sure that you get to the point in that first minute is really critical. And then reiterating the topic every 5 minutes, so that if people have joined you at different points in time, that they're across it. And the ideal time length for a whole Facebook Live is anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Mind you, there really is no hard and fast rule to this. 3-minute videos can also be, incredibly effective. So try not to waffle on and try and make each Facebook Live one. Now remember, the key reason why you're putting all this effort into Facebook Live is because you want to connect with people, get a wider reach, and have some sort of call to action. So in the excitement of the moment, you can forget about it. We understand that. So make sure you plan and pre-plan. Put it into the title before you go live on Facebook. Make sure you've got it as one of your bullet points and reiterate it every 5 minutes and make sure it's part of the wrap. Some of the really cool techniques to actually drive more traffic are around inviting people to like whilst you're on there and just putting into the conversation, maybe offering some prizes. There's a whole lot of different ways that people can engage with you on Facebook Live, and making sure that you have a clear call to action is one of them. Now, there's no faster way to put people to sleep than to talk in a monotone. So before you start a Facebook Live, you've got to get your energy levels up. You need to be bouncing around and really in that moment. And quite often, video actually flattens you out a bit, so you actually need to be more energetic and more excited than you are in real life. So maybe start by jumping around. Imagine you're at a rock concert. Really work to get your energy levels up. And if you're not sure, standing up actually gives you much more energy than when you're sitting down. Let's talk about freezing on camera. This is everybody's worst nightmare, right? Many people do this the first few times. It is totally normal. So what can you do if you're actually on camera and the nerves hit you and you freeze? Well, if you're doing it with a friend, you can kind of nudge them in the leg and they can take over the talking. If you're alone, one of the best techniques is to change the view on the camera. Flip it around so it looks away from you and it shows people what's behind the camera. Describe to them the scene that they're seeing, and then when you've got yourself back together and feeling a bit more comfortable, flip it back around again. The other key thing that you can really do, which is just settles your nerves down, is to run a test. And you can actually test Facebook Live privately so that nobody else can see you or you carry on. And you can do this a couple of times and watch the outcome so that you are absolutely comfortable and you've done it a few times. And I think the first time we went live, we didn't even tell anyone about it. So, if anybody found us natively, then that was fine. But we tried to minimize, and the level of nerves is totally normal, so don't stress about it. Okay, so now you're primed, you know how to overcome all those mistakes, you've had all this practice. So what do you do to really get on there? First of all, you either go to your page, either your personal home page or your business's page, and you're going to see in the posting box an option to go live. And so that's the button that you click. Now, if you ignore my messy desk for a moment and have a look at the screen, you'll see you come up with a preview screen. So you're not live yet. So on the left-hand corner, you can add that title. Remember, you add the title of your video, and here's where you add your call to action link. On the right-hand side, when you've got the left-hand side already, you've got the Go Live button. And so when you're ready, you can choose to go live. And when you hit this button, what happens is Facebook says, welcome. We're building your numbers for you, and this is where you need to keep talking, because remember, this is the first minute of what people see when they see your re-recorded, repurposed Facebook Live video. Now, the second thing you can do, particularly if you go into the personal view, you can click up this publish button and you'll see that you've got options to go privately, publicly, to certain people. And so this is where you might select when you're first doing a test to do it. Now your Facebook Live is up and running. What you need to notice is on the top of the screen are the number of people that are watching you, and Facebook will come up with a message saying we're building your audience, keep going. As people comment or like your page, a little comment will come across with their name and the like, or their name and the comment. It's important that you engage with these people because it takes effort to add a comment. So make sure you shout out, thank you for liking me, or answer the question or comment that people have made and reiterate it back to the audience. Encourages other people to do the same thing. And you also want to encourage people to like and share what you're doing. The key fact here is that the more people like and share, the more people that are engaging with you, the higher Facebook will push your live with their algorithms. Okay, we're almost there. So you finished it. The next option that comes up is to post it. And you want to do this because then you've got it and it's then available for you to edit and download. So if you miss putting your call to action in, you can edit it, or if it's not quite right, I'd certainly check it, that's for sure. And you can add tags and the other things you can do with Facebook. Now you can download this video and really edit it properly and repurpose it. So you can cut it into maybe bite-sized pieces. You can pull out of it a testimonial. You can repurpose it for your website, for YouTube, for newsletters. And the other thing too is you can add subtitles. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do it yourself because it's incredibly tedious, but there are two really good services that are really cheap. www.rev.com, and I think you pay $1 a minute or something like that, and www.fiverr.com, and it's, you know, like generally around $5. So you do that, you send them the thing, they give you an SRT file, which you can then add in any of your video programs to your completed and edited video. So now you've got all the tools you need to get going. You know how to set your equipment up, you know how to stage it, you know what to do about your topic and building out and making it interesting, and you know how to overcome some of the problems and to engage on Facebook. I'm sure it seems incredibly daunting, but until you just have a go at it, you won't get over it. And if I could tell you now, as a veteran of, 5 or 6 months of doing it, it's really quite comfortable. And expect that you're going to have a panic attack when you first do it. It's no big deal. You just need to work through it and get over it. It's the most powerful tool on Facebook at the moment. If you want to really grow engagement and get a bigger audience, it's the way to do it. So if we can encourage you, get those heels on and just get on and do it.